The massive Imperial scout ship emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system. Captain Tom Roberts of Earth's Deep Space Monitor Station nearly spilled his coffee when the unknown vessel appeared on his screens. The object was larger than anything humans had ever built, its metallic surface gleaming with an otherworldly sheen. "Control, this is DSM-7. We have an unidentified vessel. It's not one of ours," Roberts reported, his voice steady despite his racing heart. Within hours, Earth's Unified Defense Council gathered in their underground facility beneath the Rocky Mountains. Military leaders from various nations sat around a circular table, their faces illuminated by holographic displays showing the alien vessel. "3 more ships have appeared," General Anna White announced, pointing to the tactical display. "They're holding position beyond Mars orbit." The room fell silent as Admiral James Cooper, a veteran of space warfare, stepped forward. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've been preparing for. First contact." The alien ships made no aggressive moves. Instead, they transmitted a simple message in multiple frequencies. "Greetings, planet Earth. We are representatives of the Galactic Empire, rulers of 10,000 worlds. We come in peace." The council members exchanged worried glances. Humanity had suspected they weren't alone in the universe, but now the proof had arrived at their doorstep. "They're requesting permission to send a diplomatic vessel," reported Communications Director Mary Anderson. "They seem surprised we can decode their transmissions so quickly." What the Empire didn't know was that Earth had been intercepting faint alien communications for decades. The world's best scientists and computers had long ago cracked the standard galactic communication codes, giving humanity a hidden advantage. The Council debated for hours. Finally, President William Brown of the Earth Federation made the call. "Let them come. But only one ship, and they must follow our approach protocols." The Imperial diplomatic vessel was impressive. A sleek, golden ship that descended through Earth's atmosphere like a falling star. It landed at the designated site in neutral Switzerland, where Earth's representatives waited. The ship's doors opened, revealing beings that looked surprisingly humanoid. Their leader, who introduced himself as High Ambassador Davis, wore ornate robes and carried himself with obvious authority. "We are pleased to find intelligent life in this sector," Davis announced, his words automatically translated by Earth's systems. "Though we are somewhat surprised by your level of advancement. Most worlds we discover are still in their primitive stages." The Earth delegation, led by diplomatic expert Robert Greene, maintained their poker faces. They could tell the Empire was used to dealing with less developed civilizations. "We welcome you to Earth," Greene replied formally. "We look forward to learning about your empire." The initial meetings revealed much about their visitors. The Empire spoke of peace and cooperation, but their subtle hints at Earth's need for guidance and protection didn't go unnoticed. During a private session, Davis revealed the Empire's true intentions. "Your world will benefit greatly from Imperial membership. Of course, there would be certain contributions expected, resources mainly, and acceptance of Imperial oversight." Back in the council chamber, Earth's leaders reviewed the diplomatic recordings. "They see us as primitives," Admiral Cooper observed. "They don't realize we've been watching them for years. Their technology isn't as advanced as they want us to believe," added Dr. Linda Wilson, Earth's chief scientist. "Their ships use quantum drives similar to our prototypes. We're not as far behind as they think." The Council received another troubling report. Imperial scouts had been detected scanning Earth's military installations. They were trying to assess Earth's defensive capabilities, unaware that humanity's real strength remained hidden in underground bases and orbital platforms. President Brown stood at the chamber's center, his expression grave. "They expect us to submit, like all the others. But Earth isn't like other worlds. We'd fought too hard for our freedom to give it up to some distant empire." The Council voted unanimously. Earth would not submit to Imperial control. They would maintain diplomatic relations for now, but preparations would begin immediately for what many felt was inevitable: conflict with the Galactic Empire. As the Imperial diplomatic vessel departed that evening, they remained unaware that Earth was already mobilizing. In secret facilities around the world, advanced weapons were being readied. Defensive systems were brought online, and humanity prepared to show the galaxy that Earth would never kneel before an empire. The game had begun, and Earth was playing to win. 2 weeks after first contact, the Imperial delegation returned to Earth with their ultimatum. This time, they brought 3 massive warships that positioned themselves in clear view of Earth's major cities, a not-so-subtle display of power. High Ambassador Davis stood before the Earth Council, his previously friendly demeanor replaced by cold authority. "The Empire has made its decision," he announced. "Earth will join our confederation within 30 days. This is not a request." The council chamber, usually filled with debate, fell silent. President Brown leaned forward in his chair. "And if we decline?" Davis smiled thinly. "That would be unwise. Worlds that reject imperial protection often face unfortunate natural disasters. Asteroid impacts are surprisingly common in unprotected systems." Admiral Cooper's knuckles turned white as he gripped his armrest, but he maintained his composure. The Empire's threat was clear: join or be destroyed. "We require access to Earth's mineral resources," Davis continued, "particularly your uranium, rare earth elements, and water reserves. In exchange, we'll provide basic technological assistance and protection." What Davis didn't know was that during his speech, Earth's quantum computers were analyzing every word, every gesture. Hidden sensors mapped the energy signatures of the Imperial ships above. The data painted a fascinating picture. Dr. Wilson sent a secure message to the council members' neural implants. "Their ships are powerful, but their technology is specialized. They focused on specific areas while ignoring others. There are gaps in their capabilities." The Empire had grown complacent over centuries of easy conquests. They relied on overwhelming force against primitive worlds, never facing real resistance. Their scanning technology, impressive against basic defenses, couldn't detect Earth's more advanced systems. "We'll need time to consider your offer," President Brown replied carefully. "Our world's government structure requires consultation with all member nations." Davis frowned. "You have 48 hours. The Empire's patience is not unlimited." After the Imperial delegation departed, the Council's real work began. Hidden bunkers around the world activated. Orbital defense platforms, disguised as communication satellites, powered up their weapon systems. "We've intercepted their secure communications," General White reported. "They're already dividing up Earth's resources among their noble houses. They plan to turn us into a mining colony." Intelligence Officer Mark Turner presented his findings. "We've analyzed data from 17 worlds they've conquered. The pattern is always the same. They demand submission, promising protection. Once a world joins, they strip it of resources and reduce the population to slave labor." President Brown stood, addressing the council. "Our ancestors fought too many wars, lost too many lives winning our freedom. We will not give it up to these space tyrants." The council voted unanimously for resistance. Earth would not submit. Preparations accelerated. In secret facilities beneath the oceans, massive production lines activated. Quantum-linked defense systems synchronized. Military units moved to hidden positions. The Empire's arrogance had led them to make a critical mistake. They assumed Earth was like other worlds they'd conquered, divided, primitive, easy to control. They didn't realize that humanity's violent history had forged them into something unique. Decades of preparing for possible alien contact had not been wasted. Earth had developed weapons and defenses the Empire couldn't imagine. Humanity's AI systems, more advanced than anything the Empire possessed, coordinated global defense plans. When Davis returned 2 days later, he found the council waiting calmly. "We've reached our decision," President Brown announced. "Earth declines membership in your empire. We choose to remain independent." Davis's face darkened. You don't understand the consequences of defiance. The Empire. No, Brown interrupted, his voice firm. You don't understand. Earth is not some primitive world for you to conquer. We've seen what you do to planets that join your empire. Our answer is no. Then you leave us no choice, Davis snarled. The Empire will. The Empire will do nothing, Admiral Cooper cut in. Look at your ships, Ambassador. Davis's communicator buzzed. His vessels reported that Earth defense systems had locked onto them. Systems they hadn't even detected. Their shields were being probed by weapons of unknown design. Leave our solar system, President Brown said quietly. Earth is not for sale, rent, or conquest. Spread the word. This system is closed to the Empire. As the Imperial ships retreated, humanity prepared for war. They knew the Empire would return with a larger force, but Earth would be ready. The real battle was about to begin. The Empire's response came 3 days later. 20 warships emerged from hyperspace, their massive hulls blocking out the stars. Admiral Pete Wilson of the Imperial Fleet stood on his command bridge, smirking as he prepared to teach these upstart humans their place. Launch the first wave, he ordered. Show them what real power looks like. Hundreds of Imperial fighters poured from the warships, their engines burning bright against the black of space. They expected minimal resistance. They were wrong. Deep within Earth's hidden command center, General White watched the approaching fleet. They've crossed the outer defense line. Activate Protocol Alpha. Across Earth's orbit, seemingly harmless satellites suddenly transformed. Quantum shields flickered to life, and weapon ports opened. The Empire had no idea that every weather satellite, communication relay, and orbital platform was a disguised weapon. Interesting, Admiral Cooper observed. They're using a standard attack formation. They haven't developed new tactics in centuries. The Imperial fighters reached Mars orbit when Earth launched its first surprise. Stealth platforms hidden in the asteroid belt activated, releasing thousands of autonomous defense drones. These weren't the simple machines the Empire expected. They were AI-driven hunters, each one more intelligent than an Imperial warship's main computer. Impossible. Admiral Wilson shouted as his tactical display lit up with alerts. The human drones moved in ways that defied Imperial combat doctrine, using maneuvers that their pilots had never seen. Earth's orbital defense grid engaged next. Quantum-linked energy beams sliced through space, cutting Imperial fighters into pieces. The Empire's shields, designed to stop conventional weapons, offered little protection against Earth's advanced technology. Second wave, launch all fighters. Wilson commanded, his voice shaking. Bring the main fleet closer. But Earth wasn't finished. Hidden bases on Mars, built in secret over decades, revealed themselves. Rail guns launched kinetic projectiles at near-light speed, tearing through Imperial warships like paper. In Earth's command center, Dr. Wilson monitored the battle. Their shield technology is based on deflecting energy weapons. They never considered simple physics, mass times velocity. The Empire's response was predictable. They launched their planet crusher weapons, massive energy beams designed to break worlds. Earth's quantum shields absorbed the attacks, converting the energy into power for their own weapons. Fascinating, Dr. Wilson commented. They relied too much on brute force. No finesse, no adaptation. Admiral Wilson watched in horror as his fleet was systematically torn apart. The human weapons were unlike anything in Imperial records. Their drones moved with impossible precision. Their defenses seemed to learn and adapt with each attack. Fall back, he finally ordered. All ships, emergency retreat. But retreat wasn't easy. Earth's defense systems had seeded local space with quantum disruption fields, making hyperspace jumps dangerous. Imperial ships had to withdraw slowly, under constant fire. In the command center, President Brown watched the battle's end. Send the message, he ordered. Every Imperial communication system received the same transmission. This was a demonstration. Earth is not interested in war, but we will defend ourselves. Any further military action against our system will be met with full force. The surviving Imperial ships limped away, leaving their dead and wounded behind. Earth rescue ships moved to recover survivors. Humanity would show mercy, even to those who meant them harm. "They'll be back," Admiral Cooper said quietly, "with a bigger fleet next time." "Let them come," General White replied. "We only use 10% of our defensive capabilities, and now we have Imperial technology to study." Engineers were already examining the captured Imperial ships and weapons. Earth's quantum computers analyzed their systems, finding weaknesses and opportunities for improvement. The Empire had made a critical error. They assumed that because Earth wasn't part of their civilization, it must be primitive. They never considered that isolation had forced humanity to develop in different ways, creating technologies the Empire had never imagined. In his flagship's medical bay, Admiral Wilson prepared his report to the Imperial Council. How could he explain that this backwater world had just humiliated the Empire's finest fleet? How could he tell them that everything they thought they knew about warfare had been proven wrong in a single battle? As Earth's defense forces reset and prepared for the next encounter, one thing became clear. The galaxy's balance of power had shifted. Humanity had revealed itself as a force to be reckoned with, and nothing would ever be the same. The Empire's age of easy conquest was over. Earth had made sure of that. After their direct assault failed, the Empire changed tactics. Under cover of darkness, they began establishing secret bases on Mars and the Moon, hoping to gain a foothold in Earth's solar system. Colonel Jack Adams peered through his stealth suit's visor at the Imperial installation taking shape in the lunar Sea of Tranquility. "Command, we've confirmed 12 structures and approximately 200 personnel. They're trying to build a staging area." Earth's special forces had been watching the Imperial operations for weeks. The enemy thought their cloaking technology made them invisible. They didn't realize human sensors had evolved far beyond simple visual detection. "All teams in position," Major Kate Brown whispered over the secure quantum channel. Her squad was spread across the lunar surface, their advanced suits making them nearly invisible against the gray landscape. The Imperial base commander walked his perimeter, confident in his security systems. His sensors showed nothing unusual, just the empty lunar surface. He didn't notice the slight distortion in the air as human operators moved within arm's reach of his guards. "Execute," Colonel Adams ordered. The attack was swift and silent. Quantum stun fields dropped Imperial soldiers before they could raise alarms. Special Forces teams breached the base's walls using phase shift technology, passing through solid matter like ghosts. Within 5 minutes, the entire Imperial base was under Earth's control. Not a single shot had been fired. "This is almost too easy," Major Brown commented as her team secured the command center. "Their security is decades behind ours." On Mars, similar operations were underway. Imperial forces had hidden bases in deep canyons and old volcanic caves, thinking the harsh environment would deter human intervention. They were wrong again. Captain Mike Taylor's Mars Recon team had trained for years in the planet's harsh conditions. Their bioengineered bodies and advanced equipment made Mars' environment feel like home. "Look at their environment suits," Taylor said, watching Imperial troops struggle with their bulky equipment. They never adapted to different planetary conditions. They used the same gear everywhere. Earth's forces struck the Mars bases simultaneously. Imperial commanders barely had time to realize they were under attack before finding themselves in custody. In Earth's command center, Admiral Cooper reviewed the operation reports. "This confirms our suspicions. The Empire has grown complacent. They rely on overwhelming force rather than skill or adaptation." Intelligence teams swarmed the captured bases, downloading data and studying Imperial technology. Each facility was a treasure trove of information about Empire operations and capabilities. "Their tactical doctrine is centuries old," General White observed. "They haven't faced real resistance in so long, they've forgotten how to fight smart." But the Empire wasn't finished. As their secret bases fell, They launched a new strategy: infiltration. Imperial agents began attempting to blend into human society, trying to gather intelligence and sabotage Earth's defenses. They failed at this too. Earth's AI security systems could detect the subtle differences in behavior and biology. Every Imperial agent was identified and tracked, their activities monitored and countered. They don't understand human diversity, Dr. Wilson explained to the Council. Their agents stand out because they act too perfect, too uniform. They can't grasp how chaotic and varied human behavior naturally is. The captured Imperial officers revealed another surprising fact. The Empire's leadership was shocked by Earth's capabilities. They couldn't comprehend how a single planet could resist their power so effectively. Their entire society is built on the idea of imperial superiority, Colonel Adams reported after interrogating a captured commander. They can't accept that we might have developed better technology on our own. President Brown called a council meeting to discuss the findings. The Empire's greatest weakness is their arrogance, he declared. They believe their way is the only way. That blindness makes them vulnerable. Earth continued to strengthen its defenses, knowing the Empire would try again. But each failed attempt revealed more about their enemy's limitations and weaknesses. We're not just fighting their weapons, Admiral Cooper told his staff. We're fighting their entire worldview. They need to learn that the galaxy is bigger than their empire. As human forces systematically dismantled the last Imperial outposts in the solar system, a new message spread through the galaxy. Earth wasn't just resisting, it was winning. And other worlds began to take notice. The Empire's grip on the galaxy was starting to weaken, one failed operation at a time. The Empire's next attack wasn't with ships or soldiers. It was economic. Imperial warships formed a blockade around the solar system, attempting to cut Earth off from potential allies and trade routes. No ship enters or leaves this system, declared Imperial Commander Alex Thompson from his blockade flagship. We'll starve them into submission. In Earth's Economic Council chamber, Trade Minister Paul Roberts studied the blockade patterns. They think we're dependent on interstellar trade. Another miscalculation. Earth had spent centuries developing self-sufficient systems. Every city was a closed ecosystem, recycling everything from water to air. Vertical farms produced abundant food, while fusion reactors provided unlimited power. Dr. Wilson presented her latest findings to the Council. The Empire's blockade has a fatal flaw. They're using standard faster-than-light detection systems. They can't see our quantum tunneling transports. Earth had developed a different approach to space travel. Instead of pushing through space, their ships created quantum corridors, essentially teleporting between locations. The Empire's sensors, designed to detect engine signatures, were blind to these movements. Begin Operation Ghost Trade, President Brown ordered. Small Earth ships slipped past the blockade unseen, establishing contact with other worlds that resented Imperial control. Many alien civilizations had watched Earth's resistance with growing interest. The trading port on Proxima Centauri's fourth moon became a hub of silent rebellion. Earth's quantum technology, more advanced than Imperial systems, attracted attention from merchants and scientists across the galaxy. The Empire's control relies on technological superiority, explained Trade Minister Roberts to a group of alien merchants. But they stopped innovating centuries ago. Earth's isolation forced us to develop new solutions. Imperial economic advisors were baffled. Earth showed no signs of hardship despite the blockade. Their sensors detected no ships breaking their lines, yet somehow Earth's influence was spreading. On Earth, life continued normally. The Empire's attempts to disrupt communication failed against Earth's quantum network. Their cyber attacks were stopped by AI defenses that evolved faster than Imperial codebreakers could work. They don't understand our infrastructure, Dr. Wilson told the Council. They're trying to break systems that don't work like theirs. Small alien ships began appearing in Earth's space, slipping through the Imperial blockade using Earth's quantum guidance. Each brought trade goods, information, and stories of Imperial oppression. Commander Thompson watched his blockade's effectiveness crumble. It's impossible. How are they surviving? How are they still communicating? The Empire's frustration grew as more worlds began adopting Earth's technologies. Quantum communication networks spread across the galaxy, creating channels the Empire couldn't control or monitor. Their entire system of control is based on limiting information and technology, Admiral Cooper observed. We're showing the galaxy there's another way. Earth's economic victory was changing the galaxy's power structure. Worlds that had feared leaving the Empire's protection saw proof that independence was possible. In a secret meeting on Earth, representatives from 30 alien worlds gathered to discuss cooperation. They marveled at Earth's self-sufficient cities and advanced technology. "We believe the Empire's propaganda," admitted one alien leader. "They told us we needed them to survive. Earth has shown us that was a lie." The Empire's economic attacks had backfired completely. Instead of isolating Earth, they had pushed other worlds to seek Earth's help and technology. "The balance of power is shifting," President Brown told the Council. "The Empire's economic control is weakening. More worlds are choosing independence." Trade Minister Roberts' networks reported growing unrest throughout Imperial space. Colonies were demanding more autonomy. Subject worlds were refusing to pay tributes. "Their empire is held together by fear and dependency," Dr. Wilson explained. "We've shown the galaxy that both can be overcome." The Imperial blockade remained in place, but it had become little more than a symbol, a line in space that marked the beginning of Imperial decline. Earth had won the economic war not through aggression or force, but by showing the galaxy a better way. The Empire's attempts to isolate Earth had only succeeded in isolating themselves. As more worlds adopted Earth's technologies and methods, a new galactic order was emerging. One based on cooperation and innovation, rather than control and submission. The Empire's greatest weapon had failed, and they were running out of options. The Imperial Council finally lost patience. After failed military operations, collapsed secret bases, and a useless blockade, they launched their largest invasion fleet ever assembled. 10,000 warships emerged from hyperspace, darkening Earth's skies. Ground invasion forces waited in massive troop carriers. The Empire had committed 1/3 of its total military strength to crushing Earth once and for all. Supreme Commander John Reed of the Imperial forces stood on his command bridge. No more games. No more diplomacy. Burn their world until they submit. In Earth's Defense Command, alarms blared as the invasion force appeared. President Brown surveyed the tactical displays showing the overwhelming Imperial fleet. "They finally sent their full force," Admiral Cooper noted calmly. "Exactly as we predicted." Earth had spent months preparing for this moment. Hidden defense platforms powered up across the solar system. Quantum-linked weapons synchronized their targeting systems. High defense networks activated their combat protocols. "All citizens, please proceed to your designated shelter areas," announced the global emergency system. This is not a drill. Earth's cities transformed. Buildings sank into underground bunkers. Shield generators created protective domes over population centers. Every structure had been designed for this moment. The Empire struck first. Thousands of energy beams stabbed down from their fleet, expecting to burn through Earth's atmosphere. Instead, they hit quantum shields that absorbed and redirected their power. "Impossible," Commander Reed shouted as his sensors showed 0 damage to Earth's surface. "Nothing can withstand that much firepower." Earth's response began with a single command from Admiral Cooper: "Execute Defense Plan Omega." The asteroid belt came alive. Hidden mass drivers, built into the larger rocks, launched streams of hypervelocity projectiles. They struck the Imperial fleet at near-light speed, ripping through shields designed to stop energy weapons. Mars' polar ice caps suddenly erupted as hidden missile bases revealed themselves. Quantum-guided weapons emerged from the ice, targeting the Empire's troop carriers. "They've weaponized the entire solar system," gasped an Imperial officer as his tactical displays showed attacks coming from every direction. Earth's orbital defense grid activated its main weapons. Artificial singularities appeared in space, their gravitational forces tearing Imperial ships apart. Quantum disruption beams shut down enemy engines and weapons, launched the ground invasion. Commander Reed ordered desperately, "Get our troops onto their surface." Imperial dropships plunged through Earth's atmosphere. Those that survived the orbital defenses found themselves facing something even worse: Earth's ground forces. Mechanized infantry and powered armor met the Imperial troops. Human soldiers, enhanced by AI combat systems and advanced biotechnology, moved with impossible speed and precision. "They're soldiers," an Imperial commander reported in panic. "They're not normal. They're not fighting like anything in our combat databases." Earth's cities, far from being vulnerable targets, were death traps for Imperial forces. Urban defense systems activated, turning streets and buildings into automated killing grounds. Every window could become a weapon port, every wall a defensive barrier. In orbit, the Imperial fleet was being systematically destroyed. Earth's defenses worked with coordinated precision, herding enemy ships into kill zones where multiple weapons could concentrate fire. "We've lost half the fleet," Reed's tactical officer reported. "Our remaining ships are unable to maintain formation." Ground forces report 70% casualties. Commander Reed stared in disbelief at his tactical displays. The largest invasion force in Imperial history was being dismantled by a single planet's defenses. "Fall back," he ordered finally. "All forces, emergency retreat." But retreat was no longer an option. Earth's defenses had planned for this too. Quantum disruption fields prevented hyperspace jumps. Automated hunter-killer platforms pursued fleeing ships. The battle lasted less than 6 hours. When it ended, the Empire's invasion force was destroyed. Scattered survivors were picked up by Earth's rescue ships, treated with respect despite their mission. President Brown addressed the Council as cleanup operations began. "The Empire threw everything they had at us. They failed. Now the galaxy will know. Earth is not just unconquerable. We are powerful enough to stand as equals to any force in space." The message spread quickly across the galaxy. The Empire's greatest fleet had been destroyed by a single world's defenses. Their age of unchallenged dominance was over. Earth had not just survived. It had demonstrated a level of military power that changed the galaxy's political landscape forever. The Empire's last military option had failed. Their next move would determine the future of galactic civilization. 1 month after the failed invasion, the Imperial High Council requested a peace conference. Not on Earth or any Imperial world, but on neutral ground, a space station orbiting Proxima Centauri. President Brown stood at the conference table, facing Emperor Marcus himself. It was the first time the Empire's ruler had ever personally negotiated with another power. "We have underestimated Earth," the Emperor admitted, his voice carrying the weight of defeat. "Our assumptions about your world were wrong." The conference chamber was filled with representatives from dozens of worlds. They had all come to witness this historic moment. The Empire acknowledging an equal. "The Empire proposes a new relationship," Marcus continued, "not of ruler and subject, but of mutual respect and cooperation." Admiral Cooper studied the Emperor's face. "They finally realized they can't beat us. But this is about more than just Earth now." He was right. Throughout the galaxy, worlds that had watched Earth's resistance were beginning to demand independence. The Empire's aura of invincibility had been shattered. "We accept your proposal for peace," President Brown responded. "But Earth has conditions. All worlds must be free to choose their own path. The age of imperial conquest ends today." The Emperor's advisors whispered urgently, but Marcus raised his hand for silence. He knew his empire was changing. Better to guide that change than be destroyed by it. "The Empire agrees," Marcus declared. "We will transition from conquerors to partners. Our knowledge and resources will be shared, not imposed." Dr. Wilson presented Earth's technological sharing program. We'll help modernize imperial systems. In return, you'll share your historical and cultural knowledge. Together, we can build something better than conquest. The treaty that followed reshaped the galaxy. The Empire became a confederation of free worlds, with Earth as a leading member. Imperial technology merged with Earth's innovations, creating new possibilities for all species. Trade Minister Roberts watched as former imperial worlds established their own governments. They're all choosing different paths. Some stay close to the Empire, others forge new alliances. That's real freedom. Earth's defense technologies were shared with peaceful worlds, ensuring no power could ever again threaten galactic freedom. The quantum communication network expanded, connecting civilizations in ways the Empire never had. We didn't just defeat them, Admiral Cooper told his staff. We showed them a better way. That's why this peace will last. A year after the treaty, the first joint Earth Imperial Research Station opened on Mars. Scientists from 100 worlds worked together, combining their knowledge and cultures. Look at them, Dr. Wilson said, watching humans and aliens working side by side. They're already forgetting they were ever enemies. The Empire's transformation wasn't easy. Some noble houses resisted change. Some worlds struggled with their new freedom. But the path forward was clear. President Brown addressed the First Galactic Council, which had replaced the imperial throne. We stand at the beginning of a new age, not of conquest and submission, but of cooperation and discovery. Earth's example inspired changes throughout known space. Worlds that had never dared to dream of independence began building their own futures. The galaxy became a network of free civilizations, each contributing its unique strengths. Emperor Marcus, now serving as one voice among many on the Galactic Council, made a final observation. We thought we were civilizing the galaxy by conquering it. Earth showed us that true civilization comes from respecting differences and working together. The former imperial capital became a museum, its vast halls now telling the story of how a single planet's resistance transformed an empire into a community of worlds. Admiral Cooper, retiring from active service, took one last look at Earth from space. The planet's quantum shield glimmered faintly, no longer needed for defense, but maintained as a symbol of human ingenuity. We did more than win a war, he told his successor. We changed the very idea of what power means in the galaxy. As ships from 1,000 worlds traveled freely through space, their crews no longer feared imperial patrols or worried about crossing borders. The galaxy had found a new balance, guided by principles of freedom and mutual respect. Earth had not just secured its own independence, it had helped create a new era of galactic civilization. The Empire's end had become everyone's beginning. And across the stars, a simple message spread: peace through strength, progress through cooperation, and freedom for all. The galaxy would never be the same again. And that was exactly what Earth had fought for.